Good morning, and welcome to the Motivational Devotional, where we are merging motivation and spirituality to create a daily dose of confident positivity. Take what you can from this morning's podcast and transform your day by being spiritually and positively motivated. I had a conversation once, several years ago, with a man who had achieved great financial and business success in his life and then began to give it all away. He gave his business to his son-in-law, and the trimmings of success, he systematically gave away piece by piece to other people. He said that he had connected a young man I worked with to some other people he thought would be of great help to him. He said that he offered to mentor this young man. I mentioned to him that it seems he has been a very good networker. He replied that he networked all his life, but now that he's at the end of his life, he feels it is more important to share his networking connections with people who can use it more than he. Here is the piece that really stuck with me from that conversation. He said that he has had things in his pocket, so to speak, all his life that aren't his, and at some point, he meets the person they belong to. He did not view his business as his, but rather that he was entrusted by the universe with the idea, entrusted with its success, and entrusted with its value, but it wasn't his to actually own. He did not view all of the things he gave away as his own, but they were also things he was entrusted with by the universe, and so when he met a person that he felt was the next person who should be entrusted with it, he passed it on. This conversation hit me with a profound impact because I have seen in my career so many times when families were torn apart because of money and property. A person lies dying in a nursing home and family members come out of the woodwork, people wanting to be included in the will and wanting to be sure that when this person died, they got things. I've seen people do worse and illegal and unethical acts to get the things another person generated in a lifetime. Holding these two paradigms in comparison, there is the man in a family with no or little attachment to physical things, but place a great deal of emphasis on the legacy those things create. The other paradigm is of people with no regard for a legacy, but scrambling for scraps of physical things that will last hardly any time at all. Only a few months after that conversation, that man died, and I got to meet his adult children and his grandchildren, and I saw that he had told me the truth about his legacy, and there it was, right in front of me. What that man passed on to his family, that young man and others, cannot be put into a will, and it cannot be quantified. It can only be given from the heart, and it can only be received by someone truly intending to make use of the gifts. Someone may hand you an idea, money, or even a thing of great value, but it isn't something to keep. It is then entrusted to you to make use of it and eventually pass on something to someone else in the form of your legacy. Time doesn't belong to any of us. The things we create by pursuing our dreams don't belong to any of us. We are all custodians of value, floating through time like rafts on a river to collect and bestow. Have you ever thought about what you could pass on to someone that cannot possibly be given in a will? Perhaps the greatest responsibility we have in this life is to make sure we develop and then pass on what can enrich someone personally, spiritually, and even vocationally. What is in your life right now that gives your life meaning? Some of what you have you can gift to others over and over without ever being rid of it. How can you help someone else be a better person? How could you help someone else become a success? Who do you know that someone else needs to know? Maybe today you can give some time to consider how the life you live includes ways that you can gift someone beyond measure, such as the way that man did with that young man and with many others. Building and giving away legacies is one of the reasons that all of creation is conspiring in your favor, and it's why we need to trust that the universe always has our backs. Billy Graham once said, "The greatest legacy one can pass on to one's children and grandchildren is not money or other material things accumulated in one's life, but rather a legacy of character and faith." Thank you for taking the time to listen today. Please help keep this podcast going by following the Motivational Devotional Facebook page, following @3foldaway Radio on Twitter, and sharing the written format of today's message from motivational-devotional.com on your social media. I am deeply grateful for your support And thank you for letting Motivational Devotional be part of your journey. Peace out. See you tomorrow.
Motivational Devotional is a production of Threefold Way Radio, LLC.